It's a brand new week and Juventus are linked with 3 new players. Yes! 3 new players, 3 new names, 3 different profiles. Who are these players? So it's my job to react. It's my job to react. To tell you who's good, who isn't good, who's worth the money, who isn't worth the money. Who should Juventus sign? Because I feel like past few weeks, Juventus are always linked with the same names. But this week, we've got ourselves 3 new players. Yes, one of them is a Gintuli target, but he's still a good player. Okay? Now, who are these 3 players? What can they bring to Juventus? Let's get into it. If you're new, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. Always engage in the comments. Tell me who you want, who you don't want. Tell me you think chicken is overrated. I agree. I think tuna is nicer than chicken. Anyways, we could talk about food another day. David Hancko. Let's start off with David Hancko. Okay, Juventus are linked with David Hancko. They were linked with him in January. They couldn't agree a deal. They couldn't sign him. But the rumours are coming back out. They are currently linked with him. Hancko is also linked with a club in the SPL in the Saudi Pro League. Forgive me, I'm not too sure who the club is. It might be El Nasser, Al Ittihad. I don't know. He is linked with a team in the Saudi Pro League. He is open to leaving. And let's just say Feyenoord are more than happy to let him go if the price is right. Now, it's also being reported if Juventus want to enter negotiations, he will cost between 30 and 35 million. Now, does this signing make sense? It does, I'll be honest with you guys, in terms of profile, in terms of age, in terms of attitude. Like, he's a leader, he's the captain of his team. In terms of overall profile, what he can bring to a team, even financially, I'll be honest with you guys. Like, David Hancko for 30 million is a very, very, very good price. Like, he's a centre half that's technically gifted, physically gifted, very, very, very versatile. He's a leader of the right attitude, of the right age. He can do it all. He can play out of back. He can spray passes. He can step into midfield. Statistically, he plays for a Feyenoord team which deploys the highest line in the Dutch league. So if Tudor wants to deploy a high line and suffocate the opposition with them overloads and the gegenpressing, if he wants to do all of that, Hancko comes from a relatively similar system, so he can do it. Of course, the opposition is different, but he can do it. The fundamentals are there. But I've just got one little problem, okay? A week ago, there was a player very similar, okay? And he played for PSV. His name was Olivier Poscagli, okay? He, very, very, very similar to David Hancko, okay? Now, Poscagli, he's French, okay? So I'm thinking, Damien, Comolli, bonjour, oui, oui, comment tu t'appelles, okay? I'm thinking, use the French connections and bring him in. And this dude was a free agent at PSV. And he had a very good campaign. And he's just signed now for Brighton for free on very minimal wages. Okay? This is where I have a problem with it. And this is where sometimes it tells me, do Juventus really want David Hancko? Because they're very similar profile. Now, don't get me wrong. Hancko is a better defender. Okay? But I feel like in terms of the ball progression, the ball playing, even physically, I feel like Hancko is better. Hancko is better than Poscagli. But is the difference worthy of 30, 35 million? No, it isn't. So it's like saying Hancko is an 8. Poscagli is like a 6.5. Would you really pay 30, 35 million for that 1.5 difference? I don't think so. And I was very baffled why Juventus weren't linked with somebody like Poscagli. But anyways, what's done is done. We can't go back in time. He's just signed as a free agent for Brighton. He would have ticked all of Juventus's boxes and he was for free. He was a free agent and he was French. So I just thought, commonly, you're French. Like, surely there's some pull factor. Anyways, David Hancko, I actually like him. When they were linked with him in January, I was like, this is a good signing. They're linked with him now. It's a good signing. The only problem is, Juventus might potentially be getting themselves into a bidding war with a team from the SPL. It's not worth it. I'll be honest with you guys. Don't get into any bidding war with a team in the SPL. They've got money. They can pay them whatever wages they want. They will happily add 20, 30 million on top of the price tag just to get the player that they want. Juventus can't really compete financially with any team in the SPL, but Juventus can compete when it comes to European football. So rather than go to the Middle East, why don't you stay in Europe's top 5 leagues? Why don't you play Champions League football next year? So I feel like it all depends on the player. But the price is the price. But don't get me wrong, good recruit. Who's next? Come on, let's go through them fast. Florentino Luis from Benfica. I like him, okay? But I feel like this is the one that splits opinions, okay? Now, he's got a contract, I believe, till 2026, 2027. I believe it's 2026. Maybe 2027. It's one of the two, okay? He's got a contract that's practically coming to an end. Benfica are looking to cash in so they don't risk losing him on a free. Now, what are the positives of Florentino Luis? For me, Florentino Luis he's like a Makelele. I'll be crazy, I know. Do you know what I mean by a Makelele? Like, he is so good at like 1-2 things. Actually, you know what? That's me being disrespectful to Makelele. Makelele was a baller. Okay? Basically, my point is, Florentino Luis is very good at the Makelele role, but he can't offer as much as somebody like Makelele in terms of the ball carry and the distribution. Florentino Luis is very good at sitting in front of the defense. Okay, just sit in front of the defense, protect them, put your body on the line, make tackles, win the ball. But now when you ask him, Florentino, can you pass the ball forwards? There's a higher chance you find yourself a dragon egg in your room. Have you guys seen Game of Thrones? You will wake up to 3 dragon eggs in your room. He can't pass the ball forwards. Like, technically, he isn't the most gifted. And the way he's utilised at Benfica is they always put the more technical midfielders next to him. For example, Orkan Kokcu, the Turkish international. He's the more technical, silky, flicks, tricks, carry the ball, dynamism. But they know, Kokcu off the ball, he isn't the best. Put him next to Florentino Luis. Florentino Luis, in my opinion, is the reason why João Neves even got the move to PSG. Similar. Florentino Luis, João Neves, he tells João Neves, I'm going to sit, protect the defense. You go do what you need to do. You go score the goals. You go get the assists. João Neves has his breakthrough campaign because he's got a guy like Florentino Luis doing the dog work, yeah? Now, don't get me wrong. João Neves, he puts in a fair share of work. Enzo Hernandez, very similar. Enzo Hernandez's breakthrough campaign that got him 105 million move to Chelsea. It doesn't happen without Florentino Luis. He takes all of the defensive responsibilities from anybody that he plays in midfield with. Where the problem is, after a year or two, you start to look at midfielders like that and tell yourself, you're amazing off the ball. But in the modern game, you still need to offer more. Like, guys, in the modern game, people want goalkeepers that can play out of the back. They want centre-halves that can play out of the back. They want full-backs that can invert to play into midfield. But now you want to sign yourself a midfielder that can't play. Like, he can't really play football. He's tenacious. He's aggressive. He wins his duels. It would only make sense if... This was the only way it would make sense, is if Juventus won. In midfield, I don't really have a problem. Like Kefram Turam, Locatelli, in terms of ball progression, I think they're great. It would only make sense if Juventus get themselves a left-sided centre-half that can play out of the back, a right-sided centre-half that can play out of the back, allow them to step into midfield, and then when they do step into midfield, Florentino Luis drops a little bit backwards and occupies the defensive zone. So that way, the defenders have now got the responsibility of makeshift midfielders, and Florentino Luis has now got the responsibilities of a makeshift centre-half. It's all making sense. It's just, okay? That's where it would make sense. They want 40 million. It doesn't really make sense. I'll be honest with you guys. Like 20, 25, I'm open to negotiations. But I'll be honest with you guys. If I was in charge, my priority would be a centre-half. Like, I would rather put that 25, 30 that would go to Florentino Luis or somebody like Ballardi from Marseille or somebody like David Hancko. I feel like Juventus really need to address their centre-halves before they start addressing other areas. The last target is Wilfred Ndidi. Now, with all due respect, Wilfred Ndidi, 2 packs of ass. I'll be real. Like, he ain't that guy. Apparently it's rumoured 5 to 10 million. Let me break you down what Ndidi is. I'm not a big fan. I don't think he's good. Like, this rumour actually had me laughing, okay? He's cheap, okay? And I feel like Ndidi, the thing that keeps him relevant, the thing that keeps clubs interested in him is what he done 5 years ago. Now, 5 years ago, like 3, 4, 5 years ago, there was a period where Ndidi was the best was the best number 6 in the Premier League. Fact, he was amazing. Liverpool, Spurs, Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Barcelona, all were linked with him in one summer. Okay, they were all linked with him. This was a dude, you put him in front of your defense, nobody is getting through. Nobody is getting through, okay? He's tenacious, he's aggressive, he's got long legs, he's got long strides. He's one of those dudes, he will put out every single transition, every single fire. Now, where the problem is, age catches up to you, okay? He had himself a muscle injury. He was never ever the same. I'll be honest with you guys. He was never ever the same after he had that muscle injury. He was out for about 3 to 4 months. Leicester got relegated. Under Enzo Maresca, when they were in the championship, he didn't even use him as a number 6. He used him more of a box-to-box. Like, very similar role to how Chelsea used Kante. Go, join in the attack. win the ball back, because he's still a good defender. Like, he's still tenacious and aggressive. But rather than using him as a tenacious, aggressive midfielder, use him as a tenacious, aggressive box-to-box midfielder. So he will go win the ball in the opposition half, but then he'll just pass it to the better players to score the goals. Okay. He's a box-to-box. He's not a number 6 to me anymore. Even Leicester last season, they don't use him as a number 6. They use him as a box-to-box. As a box-to-box, besides pressing, he's shit. Like, I'm trying to be respectful. He ain't good. Like, he can't play make, he can't pass, he can't shoot. He's nothing special in the final third. He can't dribble. Like, you ain't getting no step overs. No, he ain't good. I'll be honest with you guys. He's not good. Even in terms of like squad depth, I don't think it makes sense. Like, you're better off keeping the money, keeping Miretti, using Miretti as the box-to-box, and not signing Ndidi. Like, it genuinely doesn't make sense to sign him. Squad depth. Sell Miretti. Well, of course, financially it makes sense. Keep Miretti. Far better prospect. Far younger. Far better ceiling. Like a higher ceiling of technical ability or physical ability. That's what Juventus should do. Because I don't think Ndidi would come to Juventus to be a starter. Okay, he would come in for squad depth because he's cheap. Just because he's cheap doesn't mean he's a good player. Okay, well, bro, you get what you pay for. Okay, you get what you pay for. Yeah, and the Ndidi rumours for me, they need to be scrapped in the bin. Florentino Luis, if the price is right, he's amazing. Like, what Florentino Luis is good at, he's 10 out of 10 at it. But what he's bad at, he's 2 out of 10. Like, he's shocking. So I don't know about the Florentino Luis. I don't think like it really makes sense. Who's the next one? David Hancko, good recruit. But I don't know. Like, I don't know if I believe in those rumours. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I need them to pick up a little bit more. But listen, that's just my opinion on the 3 players. If you're new, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on another one.